A decent number, but the Conservatives from the VVD have been sliding in the past couple of weeks, so it's going to be a very tight race today, I believe. But yes, we are positioned very well for the next coalition talks, yes.
I'm seeing it slightly differently from you. I'm seeing actually that VVD will pick up a few seats actually and get nearer to 38, 40 seats, which makes it slightly easier for them to form a coalition. I'm seeing D66 perhaps losing a couple of seats, maybe as many as 4, which perhaps lessens your negotiating position. Am I misreading this a bit? According to the polls I've seen, VVD picking up a little bit, D66 and some of the others just losing ground a little.
Well, the 4 major pollsters came out with their most recent polls yesterday evening, and they're showing us at almost the same level and with the momentum sloping upwards, whereas the VVD in some polls has lost about 10 seats in the polls over the past 1.5 months. So it's always difficult, and especially in Corona times, of course, it's very difficult to poll these kind of elections. But yes, they are the front runner in the elections. But of course, as you mentioned, this is a coalition government, so it's very important for the second and third positions who will be positioned for the next coalition.
Yes, I think it's quite stunning as we look at your country from the outside in, and what we witnessed, violent protests on the street around COVID restrictions, around this anti-curfew riots, resignation of the cabinet back in January over a child benefit scandal, yet Teflon Mark seems to be managing to evade some of these issues. Mark Rutte, as he's been called Teflon Mark in the past. What's going on here? Why is his leadership style connecting with the public there in the Netherlands?
Well, the campaign has been taking place under a sort of a veil of the corona crisis, of course. So it's been relatively difficult for other parties to raise other concerns, which are, of course, coming right behind this COVID crisis, like the climate crisis or the need for more investment in education and science. And so I think it's been a lot of rallying around the flag, kind of a feeling during this whole COVID crisis. But it's starting to wane off. As I mentioned, the VVD has been losing in the polls. So it's this Teflon layer is really starting to crack, it seems. But for the moment, they are still the front runner with a couple of other parties, including mine, coming up behind them.
Joost, does the Netherlands need a reset in its relationship with Brussels? It seems that there is rising Euroscepticism, partly because of the Netherlands' position as one of the frugal 4. So there was this resistance to raising funding for the pandemic protection support fund, but also because of the mishandling, it seems, of the COVID vaccination rollout. Is it time for a refresh and a reset in the relationship? And if so, in which way?
Well, we are the most pro-European party in Parliament, and we were not opposed to common borrowing. So if you would ask me, we would need leaders in the Netherlands who will actually defend the European ideal and also send a message to the Dutch public how important our membership of the European Union is for our economy, for our health, for our security. Instead of a leader who goes out in Europe, he acts kind of European, but back in the Netherlands he doesn't defend his deals, but actually blames Brussels for a lot of the things he needs to do. And the same with climate change. I see him speaking at the UN and saying we should tackle the climate crisis, but back in the Netherlands he's actually putting his foot on the brake when it comes to implementing the necessary measures, or for us to raise our targets, which we have all missed in the past couple of years.